Hi guys, it's Deager, and welcome to my new video games and tech news show. The game in the background is Tribes Ascend, and I would like to apologize right off the bat for the terrible frame rate in that video. Fraps is messing with my graphics drivers. It's definitely a driver issue because I was able to play it fine before, and I'm trying to get that fixed, so please bear with me. First off, we're going to start with our video game related news. Ubisoft recently announced that it was going to delay the release of its new game, Watch Dogs, from 2012, when it was expected to release, to sometime in 2013. Many gamers were disappointed at the news, and when questioned, Ubisoft said that they would rather release a game late and feel that its content complete and that they have worked their hardest on it, than release a game early and feel terrible about it and possibly have it be an unsuccessful game. If you would like to see more about the game, or would like to see trailers, I will post a link in the description and you can go check it out. Our next and last bit of video game news is that Epic Games has recently released new demos for their Unreal Engine 4. While the new engine, which is set to replace Unreal Engine 3, does look quite graphically good, it is also quite resource heavy. It uses a lot of graphics power, a lot of CPU power, and it's really going to mean that manufacturers such as Sony and Microsoft are really going to have to beef up their consoles, and PC gamers are going to have to invest in much faster, more powerful graphics cards and CPUs if they want to get decent frame rates. Personally, I'm really excited for the launch of the new engine, but would really like to see Epic Games put a little effort in to make it less resource heavy so that more people can actually use the engine. If you want to check out those demos, or you just want to read more about it, I have posted a link in the description. Now for the tech portion of this video. First off, we're going to start off with some slightly depressing news for anyone in the market for a new computer, or someone who's looking to buy the parts to build their own computer. This past week, a research firm called IHS iSupply had stated that hard drive prices will likely remain inflated until 2014. The inflation in the price of hard drives is due to the flooding in Thailand, and this news that the inflation will actually persist for another year is not being taken well by many techies and gamers. Hopefully, we'll start to see prices come down before that, but brace yourself for a couple more months of hard shopping. Since you're watching this video, I can pretty safely assume that you know what an IP address is. However, you might not know that there are a limited number of IP addresses available for people to purchase. The current IP protocol, IP version 5, only allows for about 4.3 billion IP addresses to be issued. While this may sound like a lot, it's actually a very small amount considering the amount of websites and domain names that are out there. IP version 6 hopes to alleviate the bottlenecks by making more IP addresses available. Google, in fact, estimates that there will be an additional, and I quote, 340 trillion IP addresses made available by IP version 6. All this really means in the end is that ISPs will have more IP addresses to hand out to web servers and websites. Ultimately, the end consumer will not be affected that much. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple of months, you've probably noticed that Intel released their new 22nm CPUs, codenamed Ivy Bridge. Because these CPUs use a 22nm manufacturing process, they both consume less power and produce less heat than larger processors. This has allowed computer manufacturers to create an entirely new subsection of computers, ultrabooks. An ultrabook is basically just a smaller notebook, one that both consumes less power and produces less heat and is much thinner and lighter. For those of you wondering what the difference between a netbook and an ultrabook is, it's actually a simple question to answer. Netbooks use scaled-down processors, usually with much less advanced architecture and much slower in terms of their processing speed. Ultrabooks use full-size notebook processors. This couldn't really be done with older processor manufacturing methods because they would be too power consumptive and they would produce way too much heat. Now, with Intel's Ivy Bridge architecture, it's much easier for manufacturers such as ASUS, HP, Samsung to make slim, light, power-efficient ultrabooks. One such Ultrabook is the new HP Envy Spectre XT. This 13.3-inch Ultrabook comes standard with a 2.6 GHz Core i5 processor, upgradable to a 3.0 GHz Core i7 processor, 4 gigs of DDR3 system memory, a 128 GB SSD, upgradable to a 256 GB SSD, a 4-cell lithium-ion battery, which they claim will give you up to 8 hours of battery life, a super speed USB 3.0 port, one USB 2.0 port, an HDMI port, a mini display port, one headphone out, and one microphone out. This Ultrabook also comes with Beats audio, and to pick one of these up, you're going to have to drop $1,000. If you're interested in seeing more about the HP Envy Spectre XT, I will post a link in the description. And thank you guys for watching my show. This is the first episode, and I'm thinking I'm going to make this a twice a week show. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments or send them to me via YouTube inbox. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to Cryon Studio. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.